walk you through the 7 reasons why the Quran feels harder than it should be. And after watching this video, hopefully, when you implement all the things I'm telling you, you will start to see the Quran like it will just turn into this. You have been doing the Quran in hard mode, in hard difficulty, just switch it to easy difficulty. That's it. You'll be able to do the Quran, I promise you. I'm first of all going to give you a story. And from the story, there will be 7 things I want you to just extract from the story. You can write it down in the comments to boost the algorithm, whatever. But after the story, I'm going to give you the lessons. So, back in the end of 2024, there was the last 52 days of the year. I said to myself, okay, I'm going to memorize the entire Quran. Bear in mind, I had like 4 juz at the time. Everyone was telling me this is just too extreme. Some people would literally look at me and laugh. What is an unrealistic goal? I'm like, no, I'm gonna do that. I set myself a goal of doing half a juz every single day. Literally, I sit down. There was just so many challenges I was coming up. I started the thing. I sit down, open the mushaf. I will start to revise. I will start to memorize. I cut off every single person from my life. Not literally, but I cut off. I stopped doing so many things just to do the Quran. I was starting to make progress, but it's just that I was neglecting my muraja. I was doing memorization. I was neglecting muraja. I was just, for example, when I reached Surah Hud, it just became 100 times difficult. I promise. I started, I think, in Surah Nisa. The moment I reached Surah Hud, it was just 100 times hard. Some days I would wake up in the middle of the night just to do this Quran, and I wake up trying to revise the Quran. I would just feel just mentally incapable to do that. I would sleep very, very late. I would wake up super early and feel so it's just so difficult on me. Just when I miss, for example, these 10 pages, I would also miss the next day. It's just too much on me. Okay? And sometimes I was having like this high expectation of I must revise the entire thing from the beginning to the where I am, and I have to just revise everything. It's just so many distractions and so many things just happening in my life, and there was a day in particular my mom was sick. She was severely sick. She was vomiting like 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day. She was severely sick, and at that time I remember there was no one to watch over her, and she was actually asleep, and I was just getting the thoughts in my mind like I have to do the Quran. I haven't done my Quran in the past. I must do the Quran as today as well. It's just I made a mistake. I left my mom. I went because no one was at home, just my mom. And imagine my mom was sick. I left the house. I went to the masjid. I sat down to read the Quran. My mind constantly was just thinking about the Quran, just constantly. I just want to prove my friends wrong. I want to prove to them like I'm the type of person that will do the Quran. And every single person will just come to me. For example, if like, I have so many friends like they will just come barge into my room, and my mind was just I don't know if I'm the only person in the past like this, but maybe it might be like this as well. Like you will not see it physically, but my mind, I just hate doing the things. For example, for some of my friends will take me to football. I just hate that. And at that time, I was sitting down. My mind was just telling me like, you made a mistake. Just go back home. Go back home. Your mom could have died. Your mom. Just I'm like, I want to do the Quran. Just so much. I went back home, and I found my mom. She was awake. She just woken up. I was looking for you. Gave me a drink of water. I got a drink. I just sat down. It was just existent. That was my mind. It was like I really want to prove my friends wrong. Everyone was telling me I can't do that. I want to prove them wrong. 60 days later, I've made absolutely no progress. I didn't memorize like half of the Quran, but I also forgot half of the Quran. So I will see that as some progress, but it's not what I was expecting. And from the story, I mentioned all 7 things. Number 1, I had a wrong niyyah. It was not for the sake of Allah, it was only for the sake of proving my friends wrong. The second thing, it was too overwhelming. I remember I told you like I had so many things like from the story I said I would memorize this X amount of pages, I would revise all these pages from beginning to the end, I would wake up in the middle of the night, I would do these things, so it was just so overwhelming. 10 pages a day, imagine that. The third thing is too much friction. I was setting high standard. I must do this, I must do this, I must do this, I must do it. So just so much things like and everything. I also like the distractions made it 10 times worse because literally at 5 a.m. I didn't mention, but 5 a.m. some of my friends will come to me. Imagine 5 a.m. It was as if I was battling with the Shaitan to do my Quran. I also like the quality of my sleep. I was having low quality of sleep. Like I mentioned, I would sleep late nights and I wake up super early. Doing that made my brain just becomes 10 times stupider because there's a big part of your brain called the hippocampus. This part of the brain is responsible for muraja. Sorry, it was responsible for memorization. And when you don't have good quality to sleep, don't get me wrong, right now it's like 4:30. Okay? I woke up like 1 a.m. tonight and I'm telling you to have a good quality to sleep. But I still woke up 1 a.m. So when did I sleep? I slept like 8:30. I slept around 9:30. Don't worry about that because I know I have like a full kind of sleep. Like I have a fair amount of knowledge on sleep. I know how it works. I'm gonna have to sleep in the daytime for like 3 hours. That is why don't do what I do. Just do what I say. Don't do what I do. Good quality sleep. If you don't have a good sleep, to affect your memorization, it will affect your Quran as well. You have so much willpower, so much less willpower. There's also like weak boundaries. Like I mentioned, my friend would just boundary to me. I would, you not see physically, but in my mind, I hated going there. I don't have a good boundary. Like I could have told them no. Okay, I could have just remained unavailable. Like 2024, I didn't have any knowledge on that. Like nowadays, if maybe I can do this, but in the past I cannot do that. I just cannot just tell a person no, even though that person he knows my thing, but he will still interrupt me because I didn't have these kind of boundaries I have these days. Right now it's like I told you 4:30. No one can disturb me. No one. I've already locked the door right now. And I also have the sixth thing, which is a strong mindset. I used to have like a weak mindset in the past. My mindset was very weak. If a distraction, for example, my dad would call me in the daytime, and another time the work rate was getting like more and more. And when my dad just comes in, for example, he would just take a few minutes from my day, or a few hours from my day, and because I had so many standards, I just left everything, just left it. For example, if I'm sitting down memorize and you just budget me, I just close the Quran for a day. So I was having this weak mindset. I need a more powerful mindset. Like regardless of how much distraction you have to put in the work. That's the kind of mindset you're supposed to have. And the seventh thing is the confidence. Confidence in Quran is very very different from like confidence in other things like work. The confidence in other things like work is when you start doing something, you start to build your confidence. Okay, I would think of it like a brick. Every single time you do that, it's adding on to that confidence. That is why now I have like so much confidence in my YouTube channel. I don't even care about what people think of me. I'm just recording. I've been recording like you do realize that all the videos I made. This today is like the 16th of June. This video probably will be like published like late, maybe the early of July, whatever. I have so much confidence in my work is this, but the Quran is different. Think of it like a balloon. You inflate the balloon, and when you just release it, it becomes smaller. That's the kind of thing confidence that the Quran. When you inflate it, for example, you're revising constantly. The balloon will be constantly becoming bigger and bigger and bigger as your hip becomes stronger. The moment you just release the balloon, even if you've done Quran for 10 years, I promise you, when you just negate the Quran, the balloon, no matter how big it is, it will start to shrink slowly, slowly, slowly. Before you know it, you don't have the confidence. And I didn't have the confidence because I was neglecting the muraja. I was only focused on revision, and the confidence hits is, like I said, is very different and so special as well because when you neglect your muraja, you will also, no matter how much you cannot discipline yourself to memorize. When, for example, you've reached maybe like just 25 and you don't have anything yet, I promise you cannot full power yourself. You cannot do that. It just doesn't work. I've never seen a single person do that. You would probably never see any person doing that. Very, 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 very rarely you see that. Like I said, I've never seen a single person doing that. I don't think it's possible. Who knows? The confidence in him. So these are the 7 things. Wrong niyyah, have a good niyyah. Too overwhelming, don't make it overwhelming. Don't worry about the end result because constantly I was just thinking about the end result. focus on the process, forget about the end results. The third thing, too much friction, reduce friction from your life. Low quality sleep, get a qualitative sleep, and get sufficient sleep. Weak boundaries, get strong boundaries. But these boundaries is kind of different because it's better to remain unavailable than to say a person no. Because when you're unavailable, don't they look for you? Like my friend called me like around 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. and he knows I was supposed to sleep 8:30. I just did not pick the phone. I just kept the phone. I forgot about it. I'll call him like maybe in the daytime. Okay? He wanted to just interrupt me in my sleep, and I don't want anybody to interrupt my sleep because when you interrupt my sleep, that's when you see the other side of me. Sleep is very, very important. I have like a full 2 hours video on sleep. It's very, very important. If you just want to work, if you want to do anything, even sleep is, I think of sleep like as an amplifier. Sleep, when you fix your sleep, you fix all the areas of your life, and when you wreck your sleep, you wreck all the areas of your life. Just a few days ago, actually, we're having exams, in case you don't know, and I decided, okay, I'm gonna go to the university. I'm gonna stay up all night trying to study for this exam because I was not studying as much. I went to university. I wrecked my sleep. I did not sleep. I was trying to revise, study, but that was just not sticking to me. It was not. I just dropped the thing. I just opened my laptop. I just worked a little bit. It's just that my brain. Bear in mind, I haven't stayed up till around 11, 12 for over like maybe 2 months. I'm not sure, but about that range. So I totally forgot how it feels like. It just feels so much like the brain. I'm like, is this how people are living in the modern day? Like I was up till around 1 a.m. It's just like I was just looking at people around me. I was like, this is not a better way to live. Like I have, I did, as I will say, I'm above average in sleep because I have a full guide on sleep. I have a sufficient knowledge on sleep. I'm not an expert. Don't get me wrong. I'm not an expert, not close, but I knew how sleep. When you wreck your sleep, I promise you wreck all the areas of your life. So get a quality sleep, get good boundaries, strong boundaries, have a more powerful mindset, and also your confidence in it. When you have all these 7 things, I promise you the Quran would not feel difficult. Even if it's difficult, the more powerful mindset would help you. Okay? I have so many videos on the Quran. You can search my channel. There's so many videos, and I also mentioned so many things on like goal setting and everything. So I would greatly appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. This is the 7th video I created today. I really love this work, and I would greatly appreciate if you help me achieve my goal of hundreds of thousands subscribers this year. And I would like to end with humble quotes. Too much attention, Mr. Donkey. Think he's a lion. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.